So I have in front of me a very unique Cervélo R5, a prototype R5 that Cervélo released just before they launched the new bike, and was first raced on at Schwalbe by Primoz and by Vingegaard. And this particular frame is a 54 that was Vingegaard's spare bike. The bike is built up with a mix of Shimano Durace 11 speed with an Ultegra Di2 rear mech. Now the reason for the Ultegra rear mech is the cage is longer, so you can fit an 11 to 34 cassette on it. The Durace has a recommended limit of 32 cassette. Chainrings on the front are compact chainrings, so 50-34 on the front. It's the gear ratios that I use for the 7 Everest Challenge, and it basically allows you to spin up the climb a bit better on a steeper gradient. The finishing kit is all provided by Cervélo, so Cervélo's own integrated bar and stem. The handlebars are designed with a channel on the underside of them as opposed to a hole where you run the cabling, so it makes it easier to service. And basically all the cables go under the handlebars into the stem, and then the steerer tube is a D-shaped steerer tube, so the cables go down the front of the steerer tube as well. The paint job on this bike is done to be super lightweight. This is built up with bottle cages and pedals weighing 6.8 kilos. And what Cervélo did is they use an ink transfer using a honeycomb pattern, which is taken from the supermarket chain Jumbo's logo and branding, hence the yellow honeycomb. But basically you can see the raw carbon through the paint that's on the top, hence making it a really light bike. The wheels come from our mate Dov at Parcours. These are the Ronda wheel, which is the shallower wheel, but they're still a wide profile designed so that you can run a 28 or 30mm tyre on them, and they're still super aero and fit really nice on them. And then on the tyres, I'm riding with Schwalbe Pro 1s. There is 2 different coloured tyres on this one. You have the naked, as it's called, wall tyre, which is the brown tyre, and a black tyre on the rear. Now the reason for the different coloured tyres is simply during the Everesting Challenge as I wore out one of the tyres. So we swapped it over and I just didn't have a spare one of the naked sidewall tyres there. On this bike I've set out with 28mm tyres, but you've got the clearance for 34mm tyres as well on that. The saddle that is on this bike is the saddle I use on everything, which is the Pro Stealth. This particular one is the super light version, which is like a carbon bodied saddle, but there are a variety of different saddles that they offer at different price points, different whips, and an off-road one as well, which has like a filled in channel bit on it. One thing to mention is this little bag on the top tube is a prototype bag from Tailfin. They've created this whole mounting system using straps, which basically attaches the bag to it. So it means that the bag does not wiggle or move in any way and stays super steady, and you get no kind of like frame rub, anything like that. And then probably the biggest highlight on this whole bike was the motivational bit that was provided by Andy, I think 3 or 4 days into the challenge, was the little Jar Jar Binkses on the valves, which are really special. The bike is set up with a Durace power meter. I ride a 170 length, and as I said, it's a compact chainring, so 50-34 on the front and then 11-34 on the rear. I'm using a Garmin 1030 computer, which is providing all the information and data I need to ride up and down the same hill. It's just the bike computer that I found that has the longest lasting battery life out there, and paired up with one of the Varia lights, which basically flashes like nuts whenever someone comes near you, especially sheep. Thank you for watching this lovely video of this lovely bike. Have a nice day. Woo!